Mexican cartels armed with assault-type weapons illegally sold as part of an ATF operation. The firearms agency has come under intense scrutiny, but now the man leading a congressional investigation has fresh criticism of the U.S. Justice Department. Our own Brian Todd spoke with him. Brian, he had some very strong words to describe the cooperation he's getting from justice.
Wolf, he is using words like stonewalling and obstruction to describe what he's getting from the Justice Department. Congressman Darrell Issa and his investigators say several hundred of those weapons are still out there unaccounted for. They fear the casualty list could climb, and they're pressing hard for answers from justice. From one of the lead congressional investigators looking into the ATF's Fast and Furious program, serious concerns about the Justice Department's Inspector General. Republican Congressman Darrell Issa says this about the office tasked with the internal probe into the operation that allowed thousands of weapons purchased illegally to be carried into Mexico. How would you describe the cooperation from the Justice Department right now?
I describe it as stonewalling. In this case, the IG has compromised sensitive material that we gained through discovery by making sure it got to one of the objects of our investigation.
Issa, head of the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee, has sent a letter to Cynthia Schneider, acting Inspector General at Justice. Issa wants to know why her office prematurely gave audio tapes that were critical to the investigation over to a person who was a target of the probe, someone who Issa says works at the U.S. Attorney's Office in Arizona.
Literally giving somebody their own recording so they would be able to prepare before they ever testify with us.
In his letter, Issa says the disclosure undermines our ability to access the candor of witnesses in our investigation and thus obstructs it. Contacted by CNN, the Justice Inspector General's office would only say it's received Issa's letter and is reviewing it. Issa says the Inspector General's indicated to him that she turned the tapes over to assist that person in the discovery process. Fast and Furious was an ATF program designed to take down big weapons trafficking operations. But ATF whistleblowers say in the process, they were forced to watch as up to 2,000 guns were allowed to be taken into Mexico. Some wound up in the hands of drug cartels. And 2 weapons linked to the program were found near the scene where Border Patrol agent Brian Terry was murdered last December. ATF personnel based in Mexico have testified before Issa's committee.
ATF agents were actually following known gun traffickers away and letting them go. That is insane.
ATF officials based in Mexico during that Fast and Furious program last year have said they were never told about it at the time, and a Mexican official familiar with the case now tells us the Mexican Attorney General's office says it was not informed of the program while it was going on. We could get no response from the Justice Department to that. Wolf?
Brian, you're also getting some new details that investigators have dug up on one of the alleged buyers of these weapons.
That's right. Sources on the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee tell us that one of these so-called straw buyers bought more than 700 guns just on his own, most of them automatic weapons. They tell us ATF tracked these weapons and let them go. The sources tell us this buyer had no source of income and was on food stamps, but somehow able to purchase more than 700 guns.
That's pretty incredible. All right, Brian, I know you'll keep digging for us. Thank you.